who invented the modern sports ball. Picture this. You're at a stadium, the crowd is roaring, and all eyes are on the ball. Whether it's football, basketball, tennis, or even baseball, one thing unites nearly every sport on earth: the ball. Such an ordinary object today that we barely think about it. Yet the modern sports ball has a story filled with invention, accident, culture, and even war. Its journey is stranger and more fascinating than most fans could ever imagine. The earliest balls were far from the perfectly round factory-made spheres we know today. Thousands of years ago, ancient civilizations made their own crude versions. In Mesoamerica, long before soccer and basketball existed, the Maya and Aztec peoples created balls from the sap of rubber trees. These heavy, bouncing rubber balls were used in a ritualistic game called Ula Malistli. It wasn't just a sport, it was deeply tied to religion, politics, and even life and death outcomes. The ball itself symbolized the sun, and losing sometimes meant being sacrificed. Imagine your Saturday league game carrying stakes that high. Meanwhile, in China, around 200 BCE, a sport called Cuju became popular. Players used a leather ball stuffed with feathers and hair, kicking it through nets in a game that many consider the earliest form of soccer. Unlike today's uniform shapes, these balls were lumpy, inconsistent, and easily torn apart. Still, they laid the groundwork for the idea of standardized sports equipment. In medieval Europe, games that resembled early football used balls made from inflated pig bladders wrapped in leather. These were cheap and easy to make, but they came with obvious flaws. They would burst, deform, or deflate in the middle of play. Let's be honest, they weren't exactly pleasant to handle. Yet these rough, squeaky bladders gave rise to the first true European footballs. The leap toward the modern ball began in the 19th century, when sports themselves started becoming standardized. The Industrial Revolution allowed mass production, which meant equipment could be uniform across cities and countries. Entered Charles Goodyear, an American inventor, who in 1836 developed the process of vulcanized rubber. This changed everything. Suddenly, balls could be durable, bouncy, and weather-resistant. Goodyear even created one of the first vulcanized rubber soccer balls in 1855. It was displayed at the World's Fair in Paris. His invention transformed not just sports, but entire industries. But rubber alone wasn't enough. In the 1860s, Richard Linden, a shoemaker from England, invented the inflatable rubber bladder, and a brass hand pump to go with it. His wife reportedly suffered from lung disease after inflating countless pig bladders by mouth, inspiring Linden to find a safer solution. His bladder and pump system became the standard for footballs and rugby balls, leading directly to the modern inflatable ball design. By the early 20th century, as sports like soccer, basketball, and volleyball spread internationally, organizations set strict standards. The first official basketball, for example, was made from stitched leather panels wrapped around a rubber bladder. Soccer balls adopted the now iconic 32-panel design in the 1960s. Inspired by the geometry of a truncated icosahedron, the same shape used to model carbon molecules known as buckyballs. This design wasn't just mathematical beauty, it provided better roundness and more predictable flight. The 1970 FIFA World Cup introduced the Adidas Telstar ball, instantly recognizable with its black and white patchwork. It wasn't just functional, it was made to look good on television, ensuring that viewers watching on black and white screens could track it clearly. From then on, sports balls weren't only tools of the game, they were cultural icons. Today, the modern sports ball is a marvel of engineering. High-tech materials, computer-aided designs, and even aerodynamics testing go into every stitch and panel. The official soccer ball of the World Cup undergoes wind tunnel tests and is engineered for perfect flight. Basketballs are designed with microfiber composite covers for grip and control. Tennis balls are pressurized and coated in fuzzy felt to ensure consistent bounce. What started as animal bladders and lumps of rubber has become a symbol of precision, technology, and even art. And yet, at its heart, the ball hasn't changed. It's still the simplest possible idea: a sphere you can throw, kick, or bounce. But behind that simplicity lies thousands of years of cultural evolution, scientific discovery, and human creativity. So the next time you see a ball rolling across the field, remember, you're not just looking at a piece of sports equipment. You're looking at the product of ancient rituals, ingenious inventions, and a history that stretches back to the dawn of civilization. The ball is more than just a toy or a toolet. One of humanity's greatest shared creations.